Keep your eyes closed, body relaxed, and your heart conditionally, unconditionally, completely open to what is as is. In the way you feel in your body, the way you are thinking, the way you are seeing everything, accept it just the way it is. When you do that, the doer in you is gone. The achiever is no longer there. You are no more in the dimension of time. You have dropped out of it. You are the timeless awareness. Drop into deep, silent awareness. Awareness does not choose for or against what is present. Why? Because it is unconditionally present. You have no conditions for what is present for it to be what you want. You have no conditions. Just stillness. Jaya Babaji. We have, in Christ makes an amazing statement. He says, God is love. That is very amazing. But it's not the love that we talk about. It's not the lust. It is the unconditional love. Unconditional love. So the heart center has unconditional love. Means when you look with love towards someone, you have no condition for that person to meet you in the way you expect them to be. There is no expectation. The ego mind in each one of us is born to get something from the other because it lives in the outer dimension. It expects the other to give him what he likes. Likes and dislikes is his, but he wants to get it from the outside world. This sounds natural, right? But that is the basic problem of all humanity, each one of us. There is no other problem. You are looking for what you like from the other, and you are afraid you won't get it. This is the duality in which the time-bound ego mind functions. Duality means I am in conflict within myself. So each one of us live identified with the ego mind. Where does it live? It lives in its dualistic abode it has built. Where? In the energy body, in the form of PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. Do you know everybody has that? It is on a different level. Trauma, hurt, pain, abuse, I like, I don't like. That's what is there. And everyone is rooted, their whole attention, what they like and don't like, is rooted in your pre-programmed conditioned past. In yoga, it is called karma. Okay. That means everybody is perceiving outer world through the karmic seeds that has been planted in their own energy body in the form of PTSD. I call it emotional memory stress disorder. This is so important that I repeat it all the time. So if you remember that, you are not that. Everything you like and everything you don't like, everything that you are attracted to and you are afraid of is your pre-programmed, conditioned memory events of your past. And that's not who you are. And as long as you identify, you will try to find what you like from that memory event, and you will be afraid not to get it. Therefore, you will be anxious to achieve it. We are always hesitating. Shall I do it or not do it? And when you do it, you are also secure, insecure, get it, not get it. Anybody who comes in your way and delays your process, you get upset with them. So all this happens, a journey in time happens with always conflict with whoever is present, wherever you are, and whatever you are doing. Conflict. So where does that conflict come from? From your own memory events of the past. That's it. So this is what is so unique in the spiritual journey, that if you understand this, your life, only you can make it free from such suffering. Because anything that happened, painful, somebody abused you, somebody took advantage of you, you lost a loved one, you suffer from very bad health problem, all these things, they are all built as energy blocks or memory stress. And you see, almost every health problem that you have is stress related, and that is karma related, and that is built in your own system. What is yoga? To release that. Do you see? And so what is yoga? Yoga means bringing your body, your mind, your heart, your soul into alignment, in harmonious interaction, unifying interaction, called yoga. But you can see how yoga is practiced in the outer world is as a physical discipline, practiced by your own ego mind that takes you, that operates from emotional memory stress disorder from your past with your body. So your mind operates from your PTSD or EMSD with whom? With the body. That is why, so if you are conditioned to believe that slim body is the healthy body, some people suffer from bulimia because they believe in it so bad. And then all the beliefs that come in your way, like I'm not flexible. So when you practice yoga, every little inflexibility is like, I hate it, so and so is doing better. So when you practice, you are on the yoga mat, you are not practicing unification between mind and body. You are practicing conflict on a yoga mat. People do that all the time. Oh, so and so is doing better. I am not so good. What is that? You are practicing conflict between your mind and your body. And people get away with this. Not only people, but whole world is getting away with this. And they are all reading about yoga means integration. Well, how does this two to go together? And even in India, they do that even worse. One time I was visiting Calcutta. You were with me, right? You were with me in Calcutta. And I was invited to the largest convention center in the largest city of India, Calcutta. And there was the big yoga conference. And I was invited as a chief guest. Guess what I was going to do? I was going to give certificates to the people who had won the competition of yoga. Huh? Yes, I was one of the judges. So this is how bad it is in India. That doesn't mean there are the real yogis, perhaps only many more in India too. But when the practice yoga became popular, it became popular based on the teachings of Iyengar Yoga and his guru, who was teaching to Maharaja of one of the Muslim kings. So he did it for exercise. Yes, it can be used for health also. So he was using health. And then everything became that way. But when I came to America, I just saw that because I had learned from Bapuji. Bapuji never taught Hatha Yoga, but from what I learned about Yoga of Bhagavad Gita from his lectures, I understood yoga was completely different than just physical discipline. So I when I was teaching yoga, let's say, I came to America in 1960, and I finished my study, and then I was in an artist job, I was in a designer. In 1966, I gave up my career. I became a yoga teacher full-time. Before that, I taught part-time. From 66 to 70, my teachings were so impactful. I had 150 yoga classes a week in 1970 and between 66 and 1970. This is the most amazing thing. How did yoga suddenly, when it was so hardly any yoga at that time, and there was no yoga teacher training course, I started yoga teacher training course where I trained 50 yoga teachers to teach my classes. But then this is what happened. I said, I'm teaching this yoga. It is such a depth of yoga, and people are just coming once a week. And I taught them in depth along with Hatha Yoga. I said, this is not the depth of yoga that I can teach. That is why I bought an ashram 30 miles outside of Philadelphia. Bought an ashram, 50 acres of land, and beautiful natural setting. So I can teach people more in-depth yoga just so they can live there. So many of my students started moving into the ashram to study more in-depth. You know, that was the time when people took a lot of LSD and free sex and no war, and those are the days. So a lot of people were touched by what I was teaching. So they came. I had 50 people live in Samnitown ashram. And then I taught them much in-depth yoga. So, but I just wasn't satisfied with what I was giving. And then from that ashram, it grew into Summit Station ashram, 300 acres. But there I had more room for people to come. Everywhere I gave lecture, 4 or 5 people would want to move with me, to move in the ashram. So I had 150 or even more than 150 residents, full-time resident trainers. I was training them as teachers, and they were also the staff to carry out programs of the teaching. Even that wasn't big enough. So we moved to Massachusetts. There my staff grew 350 full-time resident volunteer staff. Do you understand? Why? Because it was coming from the deepest teaching of yoga. And I had awakening in 1970. From that, it was all energetic teachings. Transmission was happening. So this is what you are learning. If you practice, you will be able to transmit it verbally but there'll be power of prana, energetic transmission right with it. So this is what was this is what was happening all along the way. So understand that this yoga is so powerful, so simple that people think that in order to become a real yogi, they have to practice many hours every day, full time, and after many years they get enlightened. No. Patanjali does not agree with that. He says yoga happens now. In the very first Yoga Sutra, he says, the experience of yoga happens now. He says yoga cannot happen in future. Why? Because when it happens, when you reach the highest state of samadhi, what is it? It's timeless. You have entered at that time. You are still in now. So the journey to now, that is the ultimate experience of samadhi, happens with living from moment to moment to moment. How can you live from moment to moment? By living in response to what is present, rather than expecting to change them to make you feel whole and united. Did you hear that? That's it. That is yoga. So then, I told you in the beginning, if you accept the life situation outside, your body as it is, your mind as it is, you are now. You have no past. Past is left it is called the illusions of life. It is called samsara chakra, the wheel of life. And that is what, when you drop that, you are awakened. So, but that is awakening happens from moment to moment. After I had awakening, it wasn't that like the one blast, and then I was awakened and all my karma was gone. No, I was unfolding layers by layers every day as I lived with awareness. Do you understand? So my karma I was working with all along the way. And I'm still working. It's unfolding process all the time. So, but it was about happening, accepting what is happening now, always. Why? Because what happens now is in the eye of a perceiver. See, it was in the eye of a perceiver, not what is happening out there. So, where is the eye of a perceiver coming from? From the pre-programmed, unconditioned past. So, he sees everything through the past. Do you see? But when you don't see through the past, you are present. And then another layer, masking layer of ego mind, stress is released. Your body is progressively free. Do you understand? And then this is when God gives you just change. I thought I had done, my karma was going away, but no. When it was very, very last time, it was always called last nightmare. Everybody, enlightenment never happens without that one. When it happens so See, ego doesn't wake up until it's something that happens where you crawl the wall and you can't get anywhere. You cannot escape from it. You cannot do anything. When you feel totally helpless, then the awakening happens. This is what is described in Bible. The, the prodigal son, the ego mind, squanders the wealth of God. It means abusively uses the wealth of God to play the role in the time in the outer world. And every time you play the role, your energy, you are using your energy to real energy. So you play the role of a father, mother, son, seller, buyer, doctor, patient. These are the roles. Guru. This is the role. So I found myself given the biggest problem of my life. This is what I heard, but this is what I think happened at Kripalu. That wasn't a punishment. That was giving me my past karma. Say, now this is the one. See, if you go through this, you will go. You will be free. And that's exactly why I decided to say it, yes. And I admitted everything. Nobody does that. And admission is not a solution for listeners. Admission is a problem for them. So they thought, if you say the truth, truth will make you free. I questioned that. But people, it depends on the listeners. But the sayer is free. You understand? The one who admits it is free. But admission has to be so much from the heart, then only he can be free. So now, each one of you, in your role as a husband, wife, children, parent, you are having problems. Somebody abused you, somebody hurt you, took advantage of you. Look how hard time you have letting go of it. But when you go on a very high level, you are given a very high level of letting go. This is so important to understand. So, when you're swimming in a pond, you are swimming with the fish. But when you swim in the ocean, you are swimming with the sharks. So being a guru is not easy. Being any high position is not easy. That's where we always, people, everybody does have a problem in their role, but that's where they judge it. They don't judge it. Like if I was nobody and if I did all these things, nobody would judge me. But if you are on a higher level, because this is the process, this is natural. This is the natural karmic law that at that level you will be given this nightmare or temptation. Either way. Christ had that also. So Christ had that kind of, it will give you anything. Ego will give you, if you deny it, you can deny it too. And like you can see in politics, how many people deny it? Obvious things. So clearly. And because they have lawyers on the other side, and everybody accepts it, both sides. Do you understand? And there are two parties. It's so funny how we live, but we have such creations. This is the humanity you are living in, and you are participating. But if you know that you are not the ego mind, you do not blame anybody for doing you anything. Means that is what is said as a non-violence. Don't hurt anybody. But this is, in the practice of yoga, all the yamas and niyamas, they are for protecting yourself from outside world. But when you follow Patanjali, he says practice meditation. Means when you practice meditation, you are not even seeing separation from the other. So then yamas and niyamas are automatically included in meditation. Do you see the difference? They all are included. Not only yamas and niyamas, but also pranayam, asana, pranayam, pratyahara, dharana, everything is included. It's holistic. So that is what I practice, meditation. This is so important for you to understand that ultimately anything that you are so deeply attached to, name, fame, prestige, power, money, you have to let go. This is going to happen to everybody. You know? Why? Because one day we are just standing in a lay. We are sentenced to death. We are standing in a row. Time comes when you have to let go of all that. But if you live ahead of time consciously, at that time letting go at the death will be very easy. You will be able to say, like, forgive those who do not understand. That's what Christ said. He didn't blame them. He wasn't angry with them. That is the ultimate freedom. You understand? And everybody has to go through that. So many people. But what I'm teaching you is so important. If you catch early, you don't have to suffer all the way to the end. And you can't do that easily. Right now, you have a chance to just live in the timeless presence. So my personal discipline is very simple. Just as soon as if I have any conflict with anybody or situation that I'm in a hurry to achieve an obstacle come, no mind. Relax. No mind. I don't go to mind. Because mind comes from memory events of the past, fear or attachment. When you get out of it, you are back in your energy body, the abode of God. Do you understand? So I was supposed to, I told Hindu I'll read from this, but I think this is what came out. Yeah. And yes, she also told me about somebody had a question about my life. I think it'll be good to us. Anybody has a question? My life, I mean, they should be asking about their life, but my life is. But whatever. But because people are so concerned about other people's life, that is ego. I handle my ego. I don't handle anybody else's ego and how they do what they do. I just teach. I can't do anything other. But people have. Okay. We have 15 minutes for you to ask me questions. Yes. Yeah.
Come up here.
Yeah, come.
Jai Gurudev. So, my experience in meditation most recently has been different in that I experience Shiva or no thing, including a sense of self. The word that comes to mind afterwards is annihilation, just not there. And
Annihilation
annihilation.
or emptiness.
Yeah. Well, annihilation in that action of going into meditation just dissolves
The past.
who I am.
Who I am. Yeah.
And we read from the, or we went through the Sri Atma Gita this morning. And one of the lines was about the false notion of I.
Right.
So can you address that in the context of I am yoga? Isn't that something that we ultimately are going to move beyond the I am?
Yes. See, when entire spiritual journey inward happens through the polarity, where the subject that I am is in co-creation, integrative, unifying co-creative interaction with the opposite party. In life, all the life, or with the body. Body is the object, your awareness. Other person is the object, your awareness. Life situation is an object, your awareness. So you're living in co-creative interaction. But when you go from, this is the third eye, ultimately polarity you practice, you move from first three chakra to heart chakra, throat chakra, then Agnya chakra. Their polarity is in perfect balance. This is when you go to unity in Sahasrara, where two become one. Shiva and Shakti marry there and they turn go there. There is nobody. So when the oneness is called the eternal, timeless presence, it is compared to sky. Sky is everywhere. Like how far is sky from the sun? Not right there. Full moon, right there. From any star, right there. So it is right now, right there. There is no space or time to oneness. So that is where you go, but temporarily. So temporarily, when you go there, each time you go there, you remove another layer, another masking layer of ego mind. And it's like removing the lamp shade, like it's visualized like lamp, they are transparent lampshade, semi-transparent. So you remove each, remove more, and by the way, when you remove the last one, the nightmare, the light shows up. You pass the test.
I had this experience very strongly the other morning here, and it was quite shocking to come back into the realm of subject and object. And my nervous system reacted. I was shaking, very, very weak and trembly. And you mentioned the nightmare of that last layer. I felt like I was coming back into a nightmare. And I feel that it's different in previous experience that I've had when I've gone deep in meditation, where I felt there was source, there was light, and I felt renewed from the experience. This one I did not. I felt more emptiness and more just powerlessness in coming back.
Right. The words, sometimes they don't say the same thing. You are powerless from the power of timeless presence. That wasn't there. But actually, when you come out from the oneness experience, you see the power of oneness manifesting through the body. Yeah. Polarity. Yeah.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Yes, please come.
I just want to say thank you, Gurudev, for a very powerful and enlightening talk. Through sharing your life, your story, you distilled down the essence of what we are learning, those of us who are students here,
Right.
the essence of yoga. And you did it so beautifully. I just want to thank you for sharing this with us. It's a great
Thank
gift.
you for recognizing that.
Yes.
That is the whole idea.
Yes.
Because life has to go through that. It's not like, why did he do that? I mean, everybody has different things happen. It's not why. Actually, what happens is your own karma attracts the situations that can shatter it. But if you protect yourself, it doesn't shatter. So this God, we call it God, but karma does. So karma is what brings you to next day. Like yesterday, everything that you are doing, you slept. When you come back, where do you start? Where do you stop? You just continue. Same thing happens from lifetime to lifetime. And my test was very big. Christ's test was probably, I think it was okay, because he died and he didn't have to live after. So it was over. But I had to survive and live in this lifetime. So I had to live the spiritual discipline because karma was taken away. All the outside world is ego's world, right? All the possessions I had, prestige, name, fame, power, was all ego-based. This is not the real world. And I realized that and admitted it. I knew I wanted to live this, and I wanted to go in my spiritual journey. So what I could not have achieved for any kind of spiritual practices, was achieved by accepting the karmic consequences. Did you hear the difference? That is the secret. You can do that too. If I could do this is the example that you should use to live your life too. Rather than ask me, why did you do that? That's even a wrong question. I didn't do that. It happened out of my control.
Yes. Asking that question of you, I just want to thank you for the beauty of your story and
Yes.
for sharing that with us, because it's instructive to us all. We all have to go through these trials in life.
Exactly.
Yes.
So you can easily handle yours. You know,
Thank you.
it's an example. I mean, so many people wanted to write my bio, but I know unless they know write it correctly, this is how, if it was written, I know a lot of people will learn a lot of things. Otherwise, if that kind of event happens to one of you, you'll be walking dead after that. You will be so destroyed. Your stress, your mind, your feeling center, everything will be shattered. Life, everything. But to me, it became awakening of another life.
It's a great testament to your spiritual strength and your gifts. Thank you for your teachings.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
God bless you.
Anybody else?
Well, once again, it is such a gift to be here at AYI with you and with Indu, with Meditation in Motion. It's my second time taking the course, and I'm going for the certification. For the past 2 years, I have been learning how to live off the mat in Meditation in Motion. So I come to you today for your sage advice in terms of living off the mat in the real world. And if you could share the spiritual Gurudev manual to negotiating in life. When you come from a source of I am who I am, and you want to be generous and fair, but also protect yourself from being taken advantage of in terms of negotiating any transaction. I heard you say it's in your response. But how do you, in this living off the mat, take care of yourself, protect yourself from people that will take advantage of you because that's their business?
Right. See, you want to practice this letting go of blaming them or them taking advantage of you. So if they will try to take advantage just because you let go. Sometimes, if it is with your husband or children, they say, now what is she up to? She is playing another game. No. But if you are really honest, they will begin to feel the sense continuously and they will change. But if it is somebody outside,
I'm talking about a business transaction, like in
business-
terms of
business
real
transaction.
world protecting yourself.
Right. Actually, when you let go of your fear of them taking advantage, your fear, you will become so clear that you will know what to do next that will not only prevent them from taking advantage of you, but also have a new relationship with yourself and them. But you have to let go of the
Let
fear
go of the fear
so
first.
that your mind is so clear. When you have fear, you are seeing some advantage. They're not taking of you, but you are thinking from your past.
I'm also thinking of my future self,
Future self. But
right?
it
Like
is
in
related.
that it's related to the
It is
experience of
coming
my
from the
past
past.
and the art of negotiation
In the art of
in the world.
negotiation, it is win-win situation. If you want to succeed, if you want to be winner and them loser, it never works. So if you go that way, then you will have to go back to let go of any fearful thoughts. See, that's why they have mediators and the lawyers, so they help do that part. You can do yourself from the learning that
from the teachings.
from the teaching. Yes, you can mediate yourself because that is why before lawsuit there is a mediator. So because most people, both sides are seeing from their past. It's not just you are enlightened and you are absolutely clear and he is the one who is the offender. It's never there. It's always both.
And with an institution,
So then
they're
this system works if you take responsibility for your mind, how it takes. That's why I just said my discipline is my mind. I don't go to my mind to find the answer. I go to my silent mind, diffuse the anger or fear or jealousy or afraid, and let it go. And then come back and face situation.
thank you.
You will. Okay?
Jai Gurudev. On Zoom right now, Sandra has a question, and her question is, will the layers of karma ever be resolved?
Yes, they are resolved. If you stay awake and aware, just the way I told her, you resolve one layer at a time. Each time, new layer. And then if you are impatient, it doesn't work. That's where the question comes from. This is not a question. This is living from moment to moment. There is no time there.
Thank you, Gurudev.
So we were speaking about karma and removing layers off the light at the lampshade. I understand there's also good karma. So on a positive note, can you speak a little bit about how positive karma works?
Positive karma is temporarily good that gets you out of the negative karma. But it is still a karma because there is no separation of positive and negative. So when you go to unification, you are not being positive and other being negative. Both are, you just see within yourself, both are living in you, positive and negative. So they move like two sides of the same coin. You cannot have one without the other. So, and yet, positive is temporarily useful, necessary, go there, but to try to go beyond both positive and negative. So this is not a power of positive thinking. That is necessary, but it is not a final destination. It's a step to next level of freedom. See, this is why in the biblical story, God said to Adam and Eve, do not choose the forbidden fruit of good and evil. Good is positive, evil is negative, right? Do not choose either one. Why? Because good comes with evil and evil comes with good. Do you understand this? So this is different than Norman Vincent Peale's power of positive thing. I mean, it is necessary, useful, but it's a step. Do you understand?
Thank you.
Okay. Let's close our eyes for a minute. Just drop into silence. Relax. Because of this, what you have heard, there is a lot of truth that is circulating through your mind, your body, your energy, your cells. And so stillness will come right away. Bring your attention to the third eye. Focus your attention and drop into complete silence, relaxation of the body, silent mind, and awareness. Jai Baba. How many of you found that you could really drop into relax, meditative stance? That's very quickly, because there is energy field that is created through these teachings. You are connected now. And when you're so connected, you close your eyes. I can go there anytime. I close my eyes and there I am. Just feel it. You may now open your eyes. I didn't ask you to always close your eyes, but do you notice? Almost everybody closed their eyes. That is the energy connection. And you will go right there. That is energetic connection.
Shakti